This is a pretty chubby pine. I say 42 inches is gonna just barely do it. What we have is a lot of pulling trees today for a new subdivision. They're gonna put a subdivision in here, and some of these big trees are in the way. Like this guy. This is a hooter. It's got some back weight. I think with a wedge, we'll for sure be victorious over this. We have the bucket truck and we have some climbing gear for setting lines, for pulling things, because some of these, they definitely need to be pulled over. This is James. His dad used to work for me years ago. And he grew up and had kids, and now James is here job shadowing. So he's asking a lot of questions about the industry, and we're gonna provide some answers today.
Hey, we're not bucking it or nothing.
Everybody wants the stumps a little high?
Yeah, so they can rip them out.
Don't judge us. They want high stumps. So in the interest of breaking things down, the tree is hard out this way. We want it out here across the pile. So I'm gonna hold a lot of wood over here. And I'm gonna close up this side sooner than that side. As you can see, there's a lot of weight to the back this way. So yeah. Close up this side, keep that side open, have wedges ready for this weight. Yeah, the stumps are high so that when they go to take these stumps out, they'll get more leverage. Funny, the kerf isn't wide on this side.
Yeah.
Watch out for blowback. That was so dialed. Beauty. Thanks for doing all the work.
Yeah.
Damien had the hard part of that job.
So tired already.
Fatter here, skinnier here.
What was your name?
James.
James, that's right. So, since we're shadowing, we gotta be teaching, right?
Yeah?
Maybe you should go explain to him what and why you just did what you did.
For money and love.
Nice.
Do you understand everything we did?
Generally, I think so.
We
Yeah.
can look at that hinge and talk about it.
Sure.
Okay.
I think people want to see it.
Alright, so this is a big heavy object, and it had predominantly weight this way. So we wanted to go 90 degrees. It's lean. Almost exactly 90 degrees, which is here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, because it had weight this way, and it had weight that way, but it didn't really have the most awesome weight this way. So if this hinge, this is what we call the hinge, this is steering for the tree. If we leave more weight, if we leave more hinge on this side than we do on this side, what do you think that's going to do to the tree as it tips over?
It's gonna let this side go more than that side.
Yeah, it's gonna be easier for this side to tip. It's gonna have less resistance in the hinge fibers. It's gonna have more resistance over here, which is going to pull it. Because remember, all the weight and the lean is pulling it. That's a force that you have to recognize. And so we're answering that force by leaving more hinge on this side than on this side.
Yeah, because you basically have friction here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fatter.
The hinge is narrower here, fatter there, and that is all planned out so that the tree goes where you want it.
And
It's
were
not
you
going to be the same
wedging-
every time. But
You were wedging like just from here over, pretty much.
yeah, we're wedging straight on in the back, and then we had our a long wedge in this way to try to overcome some of this down force because the tree leaned this way.
Right.
And his bar is sticking, you know, this is the line of where his bar was. And so that wedge was running like this so that he could still do the cutting, making progress out towards the hinge. And then over here, when we're pounding wedges, we're opening that gap, but it's a smaller gap there. So when you're pounding on this over here, you're actually pounding into the smaller section of the gap.
So you're getting more lift.
It could be a little harder to pound because you don't have leverage from this point
Plus
to
you're
this
on the
point,
heavy side.
and you're on the heavy
But if
side.
we pound on this side, we're only helping what the tree wants to do, which is
You're
go
helping
down.
it. Yeah, you're helping it lift on this side, and you could be helping pull these fibers out prematurely.
So that's that tree. Now this tree is fairly fair standing. It does lean back.
So real quick, one more question. At what point do you stop cutting the hinge?
When you
Do you ever cut enough to where it's missing on one side?
you don't usually want to cut the corners off. You want the hinge intact all the way across usually. And we won't even talk about when you wouldn't, but there are times.
Yeah.
But you want the hinge intact because the hinge is what is holding it directionally. If you cut the hinge off, if you take the hinges off a door, the door is just going to fall. But the door opens where it's predetermined to go based on the hinge you leave. It's the same with a tree. We want this door opening like this.
Yeah, so do you understand why we make the face cut?
I think so, yeah.
So it's because it gives it a void for the tree to fall into.
Yeah.
It can't fall this way because
Well,
the kerf is closing, unless you had like catastrophic failure and you're doing something you probably shouldn't, or doing it in a way you probably
like
shouldn't.
that oak.
Yeah,
Like if we cut that oak and we put a notch on this side, all that back weight would just take it over while we were making the notch. That would be catastrophic, very easy to predict failure. But believe it or not, people do it. They think, I just put the face where I want it to go, and then the magic happens.
that's luck.
Usually what happens is they get their saw stuck, and that can save them from a lot of embarrassment.
Yeah,
Because they'll go to get another saw, and then somebody might say, dude.
A spot I go camping has a tree that's still well alive
With the bar in it.
with a bar in it.
Uh-huh.
It's got a face cut in it and a back cut, and the chain and bar are sitting there, and the tree's totally grafted around it. And
there's a spot I dirt bike that has a face cut on the wrong side, and it's got a little back cut. The bar's not in there. I think they got it out, you know.
yeah, no, this one.
But it's just way out in the woods.
This one's way out in the woods, bar and chain, and it's It's been there a long time.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah.
sweet.
It's-
I'll take a photo of it because the face cut, everything is totally grafting back together. The tree's still alive and healthy. which is kind of crazy.
You know there's some compromise somewhere in there too.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't build your house under it?
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
And then one more thing also is when he's making this face cut, he's coming in, right, horizontally. And then when he gets that, there's a 90-degree line that comes off. See where the tree's laying? Yeah. So his bar came in like this, and the aim was out that way. And so once he gets this horizontal cut, that's his aim. So he has to stay true to that aim when he comes in from the bottom also. So if he accidentally comes too short, you know, and comes before where the horizontal cut matched, then he's not going to have true aim, and he'll have a Dutchman on this side, which will actually start closing first and then start putting it out the other way. So it's super important that when you get this sight line, you make your face perfect and stay true to that sight line, or else it throws everything that you started with off.
You want your cuts to meet up, unless you don't. But for the most of the time you do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you always want to start from one side on this side of the tree, making this second cut here.
You start on whichever side's more comfortable. The reason I started on that side is because it was easier for me to hold the saw this way. So, I mean, if I was cutting this tree, like if we were logging, we would not leave a high stump.
Right.
This high stump is so the excavator can get more leverage on it. But I would be down on this side cutting.
Yeah.
And you cut on whichever side you have to based on terrain and
rocks and drop-offs and
yeah.
brush and all sorts of stuff.
You got to be comfortable on both sides.
Where was your escape route if things went bad? Because you always have an escape route. Route.
Well, the escape route is like this.
Yeah.
But that's only if it goes where you want it.
Yeah.
If it goes back
because
on
then
that
everything
house, then my escape route would be
yeah, because you're always planning your escape route for if things were to go bad, and you know which way it would go bad also. It would tip where you're trying not to let it tip, and then you'd be over there. But with the tree going this way, you want to be here.
Yeah, and you can see us in the video. We went out along that line.
And
I went into there.
Something I want to point out to you, James, is we were standing right there, and I said we need to watch out for these upper limbs. This one right here, granted it's not much, but that wasn't there when we were standing there, and that's enough to severely, hurt you.
It'll ring your bell. It'll hurt your neck at the very minimum.
It doesn't take much at that kind of height to,
Yeah, when we backed up, when me and Damien backed up over here, we're looking up.
We're looking up more than we are here.
Yeah, we want to see if anything's going to spring back and nuke us.
And then it's also really important where a lot of times if you're falling a tree onto a pile or a dirt hill or something, say this is your hill and you're falling the tree from the side, it falls like this, and then when it comes down, the whole butt lifts up. So sometimes you can get butts 30 feet up in the air, and then they come down and smash people. So yeah, you're watching the butt, but you're watching up there, because that's the number one way people get killed, is the stuff from above. The other thing with
a big pile of brush like this is the shrapnel coming out of it.
Yeah,
if it
usually to the sides.
I bet if we watched the video, we could find something that,
something that went flying,
springing up into the air, but sometimes that stuff can just come flying.
Especially a firewood pile.
Yeah.
If you fall a tree onto a firewood pile, it can be gnarly travel.
12 gauge blast of stuff coming at you.
I sent a 42-inch wide face cut 50 feet one time, and it hit the side of a house.
Just squeezed it just right.
And it was a hard thump. And the lady was all, "It's okay." And then I'm all, "Let me check inside." I went inside. The drywall was on the bed. A whole sheet of it.
Yeah, because basically what happens is, say this is a stick in that pile.
It's called tiddlywinks.
Yeah, you fall down, hit a tiddlywink, and it launches like that. And you could hit that house over there with
Yeah, with
something
the
like
right
this,
kind
it,
You could hit that
comes
house
down
with a
and
10-foot log.
Yeah, it's
4 inches
medieval.
around.
yeah, it just comes down and goes like this.
Dang!
Except
You
that
don't want to
Mach
get hit
10.
by. There's some videos of that too,
Yeah.
where sticks come flying from way out at the tips of that tree.
You know that guy Zach's Tree Service, I think.
Yeah.
He got skewered through the hat.
Dang.
His fanner hat got, like, if he wasn't wearing a helmet, he'd have been toast. He got skewered by a flying limb like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. So it's all about what's happening up there, but what's going to happen to the tree when it lands? What is all that going to do? Because a lot of people...
Remember, I got hit off Williams Highway.
Yeah.
That rang me pretty good.
Damien hit me with a pine cone yesterday and it cut my cheek open.
Just shredding around the tree and a pine cone fell out of the tree.
It was a squirrel.
Almost made him retire.
Yeah, I almost quit on the spot.
Squirrel killer.
All right, well, that's fun.
I want to make sure you learned something from today, you know?
Thank you. Yeah, there's going to be a test at the end of today.
Yeah, we'll have you fall a tree. Have you run a saw ever? No? Well, you should probably do some wood cutting before you go to tree falling.
Yeah.
And luckily for you, I know a place where there's a lot of wood to cut for practice.
Alright, what is the most challenging part of your job?
Man. Well, there's a lot of different jobs associated with the job.
Yeah.
I would say paperwork for me.
Apparently that's usually the answer people give for that question.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It's paperwork.
Yeah, taxes,
Well, and then
insurance, like all the things that you have to do that separate you from all the people who won't do it.
Yeah.
So in order to have fun surfing, you gotta paddle out. Who loves paddling? You know, paddling's the paperwork for me.
Yeah.
I hate it. Paddling out, your neck's all cranked up. It's not near as fun as putting big things on the ground and collecting checks.
Yeah. So the next question is, what is your least favorite part? So I don't know if there's much distinction there.
I guess if I had, I could find something even more unpleasant than paperwork. If I had to pick a least favorite part, and that would be when things go wrong, you have to eat crow, you have to swallow your pride and confess. So, I mean, there have been times in my life where I've made mistakes.
Really?
Yeah. And you just want to just melt and disappear, you know? Like, I thought this one time I hit the power lines, I thought about just walking off. There was no way around the problem. I had to go through it. So that's probably the most unpleasant thing to deal with is those hardcore learning experiences where you've messed up